What's up, Virgo? Welcome to your November 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kaylee Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is working on their personal growth, self-expression, or spirituality in any form. So if those areas of life are important for you, or you're interested in entrepreneurship and kind of making things happen for yourself, I encourage you to go ahead and keep watching. And now I just want to jump right into your messages. So while I was tuning in, I always do a meditation for every reading that I do. And for you, I actually was getting this very strong impression of kind of a child, I have to say, looking with their pencil, and they're about to kind of answer a question on what feels like a test, but it doesn't feel like a real test for some reason. It feels like a test that's either kind of just to see where the students are at, but it's not going to apply to their grades, or there's like something that feels unofficial about it, but they're at the same time, they're just don't want to answer anything because they don't know if they're answering correctly. So I don't know if this is somehow relevant for you, Virgo, but really if I was to sum it up and put it into kind of like adult language, it's like you are on the precipice of taking a whole new journey in your life, and what's holding you back is that you're worried whether or not you're doing it right, or whether or not you've checked all the boxes. But the thing that you don't know, Virgo, the thing that you don't understand is that there are no boxes to be checked. There's nobody who's going to be going through and grading your work anymore. I mean, even if you're in a situation where you are being graded, like let's say you're a student, I feel like you're taking the test too seriously. You're taking the test too seriously. The thing that you're going to find out, Virgo, after the next couple of months is that you're going to realize that everybody that you look up to in your craft, your profession, your career, artists maybe that you look up to, writers you look up to, whatever kind of person you are, whatever kind of entrepreneur you are, the people that you look up to, they're just winging it. Like, they don't know all the answers to the test. They also are not going to get graded. You know, I feel like there's this pressure that you're putting on yourself to get it right, to follow protocol. But there's no protocol, there's no rules. And I think that it's totally natural for you as a Virgo to feel the way that you do, and to almost want to be graded. You almost want your work to go under scrutiny and hold up to it. That's kind of a sick thing about Virgos, isn't it? But I think you will have more fun, honestly, when you recognize the truth that you're here to mix things up and you're here to create, and sometimes creation is a messy process. And especially if you're starting something new, Virgo, this is not the time to be worrying about getting it right. Because if you're new at something, you're not going to get it right. I mean, what right even really means is debatable, right? So I hope that this message is able to help someone out there, that if you are kind of teetering on the edge of something that's big for you when it comes to your career or your self-expression, there's nobody looking over your shoulder, double checking your work, and the things that you will be hard on yourself about your work are not going to be the things that people notice about it. So I hope that's helpful. Let's go ahead and take a look at your cards, and we'll get some more information. Virgo, guidance for Virgos. Virgos. Okay. And let's take a look at your Animal Spirit Oracle cards for Virgo. And your Bob Ross message. And your landscape card. All right, Virgo, so let's take a look here. Your path is the horse. And your obstacle is the octopus. That is really funny because I think the octopus is a very apt obstacle card for the meditation message that just came through. And let's take a look at what moves you forward. Wow, so you've got the Ace of Coins. So some of you are probably starting a new business of some kind or about to release or launch something new, or moving perhaps as well, because I do see the Ace of Coins come up for moving on occasion. So, but it's like a fresh start in the physical world or in the financial world. Which is definitely coming through as what's moving you forward. And you are going forward because you have the horse as your path. So you're definitely making progress this month. I see you taking yourself in a new direction by your own ambition, and really you're the propeller, Virgo. You are the source of this inspiration. You are the source of your forward motion right now. It's not because life is putting pressures on you that you are succeeding and moving forward right now. This is all completely self-generated, I feel. But the octopus card as the obstacle or influence shows me that you are kind of getting hung up on your creative journey. And this could have to do with creative blocks. Sometimes what can be helpful is thinking about resistance, and how every time that there is a successful creator, they're going to deal with resistance. And I think this is something that is so useful to remember, is that real professionals, right? Whether you're like a professional writer or an artist or something like that, professionals just get their ass in their chair and they do their work. They show up every day with a hard hat and a lunch pail, and they just hack away at their project. And, you know, again, that's not to say that you can't give yourself breaks or go back to new sources of inspiration. Like maybe you need to chill out and read somebody else's novel, or maybe you need to go for a walk, or, you know, do something that will enliven your senses. Maybe cook a gourmet meal, get your hands dirty, you know, in the garden. Something to kind of reawaken your senses. But after you've done that, you need to return to the work at hand, because you have progress that needs to be made. And I think that you don't want to miss this opportunity. I feel like things are lining up for you, Virgo, to take advantage of a new wave of industry, or a new wave of popularity within your industry. And I feel like it's important for you to be at the head of it, which means you need to not let your resistance hold you back. Okay, so that's really what I'm getting. See, your horse is trying to like jump away already. Wow, and the landscape that you're in is security. This is absolutely gorgeous. So what I get from these cards, each card is a landscape that has like a theme or a message to it. And so the landscape that you're walking through is security. So I think for you, Virgo, this message is saying like, look, it's safe for you to do what you're trying to do right now. But if you put it off, like if you put off something that is a big goal or a big dream or a powerful inspiration for you, like if you put it off till later because you are not wanting to honor your true desires, or you don't believe in your ability to succeed, there could be times in the future where you aren't so secure financially, or when you don't have as much peace of mind or whatever, which sounds funny to say because the world is in such a crazy place right now. But I feel like you have a unique position right now to be able to pursue something that you love and something that you know that you really, really want. And I think if you don't do it, you're just going to be wasting this opportunity because you have the ability right now. So why not use this time to your advantage? That's really like the feeling that I get. And this is also going to create security for you. So the first week of the month, we have the Hanged Man with the Nine of Swords. This is the Natal Tarot. I'll put a link below. You've got the Warrior of Swords and the Four of Cups. You've got the Two of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Wands, and the Magician at the end of the month. Beautiful. So one of the things that I see here, it almost feels like you can sense that, here's what I want to say, Virgo. You can feel the destiny that's going on right now in your life. Like you can feel that there is an element of fate or of things coming together that have been put in motion like since your birth, basically. And I know that's like a huge, huge thing to say in a monthly reading, but when I look at the major arcana cards that you did get, you have the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Magician, which are all cards that imply like the dance between free will and destiny. Those are the energies that you're dealing with, and they're big energies. The question becomes for you, Virgo, if you know that something is made for you, or that you are made to be or do something, the question becomes in November, and I think as we go into 2021, are you gonna honor that according to your free will, like honor the truth of what you feel you're really here to do on this planet in this lifetime? And the second part of that is, to what degree are you able to influence the process through which you become that which you are destined to be? So those two things I feel are up in the air right now. Because on the one hand, I feel like it would be easy for you to retreat. It would be easy for you to just take it a little easier. I don't mean take it easier in a like cheap sense, like in a superficial sense, but I mean it more in a practical sense. Like it would be easier to just maintain your current habits and your current lifestyle and showing up and serving others in the way that you currently do. It would be really easy to do that. And you would probably still be doing good things because Virgos always find a way to do helpful things. But I kind of feel like you want something more. And with the Hanged Man and the Nine of Swords, I think you know that something is hanging in the balance in the beginning of November. Some of you might be anxious about elections and outcomes like that if you're in the US. But I think this is so much more than that. I think this is really personal. And I feel like with the Hanged Man and the Nine of Swords, it's like you know that you're on the edge. Work your edge, Virgo, work your edge, because you're going to succeed with this. You know, I mean, it can feel really weird to surrender to suspension. Like the way that the hangman is suspended, it's like you feel almost like you have to stall and slow down before you change directions. But let's say, let's take that analogy. If you're in the car and you're driving, at a good speed in one direction and you decide to change your direction, you have to slow down. And it's like you're slowing down in that moment, Virgo, but you're like, oh my gosh, am I doing this? Oh my gosh, am I doing this? Oh my gosh. You're just turning, but you're like kind of freaking out about it with the Nine of Swords. You don't have to worry. Things are going to be okay. So with the Warrior of Swords and the Four of Cups, this is about you really going right to the heart of it's going to be funny. It's going to sound funny to say this, but in the second week of November, we do have the new moon in Scorpio, which for you is in a positive aspect to you. It's in your third house symbolically, and it's sextiling anything that you have in Virgo. So it's a good energy for you, but it is going to be about like mentally approaching the things that you're dissatisfied with and really nailing them down. Because if you're going to go on this new journey, you have to really be aware of what you want to change about like the thing that you were doing before, right? Like where is the stagnation in your life right now? And be really clear on that. Because I think it's easy sometimes when we're in the flow of things and we're in a routine or a habit, we can get a sense of like, oh yeah, I don't really like doing that. Like I don't really like working out. I do it because I'm supposed to, but it's just not very exciting to me or whatever. Maybe that's something you think about yourself, but is that really true? Because maybe what happens when you actually get out your yoga mat or you go for a run or whatever, maybe you actually really enjoy it. And when you're at the start of it, you're like, wow, this is time just for me. And it feels so good. So it's things like that. I'm using that as an example, but maybe it's like you tend to think these things about yourself and about your life that are you think those are the reasons that you're not completely satisfied. But if you're about to go into a new change, you need to be really clear that the things that you think are causing dissatisfaction are actually the things that are causing dissatisfaction, and you're not just assuming that those are the things that are causing it, but it's really something much deeper, right? So I want you to be aware of that and do some journaling in the second week of November. Even if you're a Virgo that doesn't typically like to do a lot of inner work, or, if you're not super in that like habit, I think it would be really good for you in the second week of November to write a lot. Just regular journal, stream of consciousness type of stuff. I think that'd be really useful for you because you're going to need to be clear on the things that are not moving you forward and representative of your overall attitudes that you want to have. The third week of November, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Wands. So there is some kind of a life force within you that is being activated. I feel like with the Two of Wands, there's a sense of excitement of looking forward and looking to the future. And there's also a sense of making plans. But then you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is also saying like, the best made plans, the phrase. Even, the best made plans can sometimes we just end up laughing at them basically, because they're not always going to be made with a full awareness of like the entire web of influences that we're dealing with when we're dealing with a cosmic card like the Wheel of Fortune. So make your best plans that you can in the third week of November. But I also think that somebody's handing you a key to something that is totally different than what you thought. So some kind of key. I also feel like these look like keys, and this looks like a lock opening up. So some kind of key and lock theme going on for you in the third week of November, where things are really coming together. You're putting the key in the lock and it turns and a door is opening for you. And it's not a door that you expected. It's not a door that you anticipated for yourself. But I want you to keep an open mind because I think that this is a very exciting time in your month. So definitely looking forward to that for you, Virgo. And then, you know, by the end of the month, you have the Seven of Wands and the Magician. So this is about working your intentions and your will into your life. Some of you could be working on meditating and focusing your attention more accurately and more persistently throughout the day. Others of you could be working on a new discipline, right? Like maybe it is a new workout regimen or a new spiritual practice or a new way of, I guess I want to say like the effort that you put into relationships, like managing relationships with your clients or customers or with your family. The Seven of Wands to me here implies effort. That's really the way I'm seeing it. But then the Magician implies empowerment and you being able to kind of visualize something and then enjoy it. You know, like if you want to have better relationships with your customers, let's say, for example, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to like have more outreach, you visualize it with the Magician and then you take the action, which is the Seven of Wands, and things start to improve. But it is going to require effort on your part, Virgo. So that is what I'm seeing. I feel like at the end of the month, there's going to be some exciting manifestations that are going to come through, but they're definitely coming through your effort, not just through your thinking. It's like you have to think and visualize it and then take the effort at the end of the month. And I see you just being really excited about your ability to generate outcomes that you want for yourself. So it's going to be a very optimistic end to the month as the sun moves into Sagittarius. I feel like there's a lot of optimism for you and a lot of just excitement and manifestation as well. So with Bob Ross, he says, let's get crazy. What the heck? Take a 2-inch brush. This is your bravery test. I think that is exactly in alignment with the meditation message, right? About you're not being tested. Like it even says like the bravery test, right? This is, if there is a test, it's your bravery test. It's not your test of, did you memorize enough? You know, it's not your test of, are you using all the perfect techniques exactly like your teacher told you to do it. Like that's not what you're being tested on. What you're being tested on, Virgo, is your bravery. It's your willingness to be spontaneous, your willingness to put yourself in situations that require you to just be authentic and think on your feet and embrace your excitement as well. So this is a month to do that, I'm going to say. And I feel like you are supported astrologically more so than some of the other signs this month. So take care of yourself, and I hope that you have an amazing month in November. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below letting me know your thoughts. And I would also really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and subscribing to notifications as well, so you never miss a future reading. Okay, guys, sending you tons of love and light. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and an amazing month ahead, Virgos. I will talk to you next time.